Relocating electrical receptacles to the underside of cabinets above the counter in a kitchen remodel is generally acceptable provided certain conditions are met. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, allows receptacles to be installed under cabinets, but they must be readily accessible and not more than 18 inches above the countertop. A height of 16 inches above the counter meets this requirement. Ensure that the cabinets have sufficient depth to accommodate the receptacles and any required boxes or brackets. Obtain permits and have the work inspected by a qualified electrician to ensure compliance with electrical codes. Make sure the receptacles are easily reachable and visible for use. Allow enough clearance between the receptacles and the countertop to prevent interference with appliances or other objects. Consider the length of cord required for appliances to reach the receptacles. Ensure there is adequate ventilation around the receptacles to prevent overheating. If the backsplash is made of a non-flammable material, it may not be necessary to cut it for the receptacles. However, if the backsplash is flammable, cuts will be required and should be done carefully to avoid damaging the tile. Consider these additional tips. Firstly, use surface mount boxes or brackets to minimize damage to the cabinets. Secondly, consider installing a small shelf above the receptacles for added convenience. Thirdly, paint the boxes or brackets to match the cabinet color for a more cohesive look. Electrical codes are in place to protect people and property from electrical hazards. These codes provide standards for the safe installation and operation of electrical systems. It is essential to understand and comply with these codes to ensure safety and prevent accidents. Here are some key aspects of electrical codes. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted standard for electrical installations in the United States. It is published by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NEC is updated every 3 years to incorporate new technologies and address emerging safety concerns. States and local jurisdictions often adopt the NEC as their electrical code. However, they may also make amendments or additions to suit the specific needs. These local codes can be more stringent than the NEC. Electrical codes cover a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. They specify the types of materials and equipment that can be used, as well as the methods for installing them safely. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from excessive current. They interrupt the flow of electricity when a fault or overload occurs, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. Grounding is an essential safety measure that provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source. This helps to quickly trip overcurrent protection devices and prevent electrical shock. Electrical codes require that all electrical equipment be properly grounded. Electrical codes also address specific requirements for different types of occupancies, such as residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. These requirements take into account the unique hazards associated with each type of occupancy. For example, healthcare facilities have stringent requirements for emergency power systems and patient care areas. Compliance with electrical codes is typically enforced through inspections. Electrical inspectors review the installation of electrical systems to ensure that they meet the requirements of the code. Inspections are usually required before a new electrical system is energized or when significant modifications are made to an existing system. Failure to comply with electrical codes can result in fines, penalties, and even legal action. It can also increase the risk of electrical hazards, such as fires and shocks. It is important to hire qualified electricians who are familiar with electrical codes and can ensure that electrical work is done safely and correctly. They should also obtain the necessary permits and schedule inspections to verify compliance with the code. The NEC specifies requirements for receptacle placement in kitchens to ensure that countertops are adequately served by electrical outlets. This is intended to prevent the unsafe use of extension cords. The NEC requires that receptacles be installed so that no point along the countertop is more than 24 inches from a receptacle. This means that receptacles must be placed no more than 48 inches apart. This rule applies to countertop spaces that are 12 inches or wider. Island and peninsula countertops also have specific receptacle requirements. At least one receptacle is required for an island countertop with a long dimension of 24 inches or more. At least one receptacle is required for a peninsula countertop with a long dimension of 24 inches or more and a short dimension of 12 inches or more. Receptacles installed to serve countertop surfaces must be readily accessible. They should not be obstructed by appliances or other objects. Receptacles can be installed horizontally or vertically. However, they should be oriented in a way that minimizes the risk of water or other liquids entering the receptacle. Tamper-resistant receptacles, or TRRs, are required in dwelling units to protect children from electrical shock. TRR have internal shutters that prevent objects other than electrical plugs from being inserted into the receptacle slots. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are required in areas where there is a risk of exposure to moisture, such as kitchens, bathrooms, and outdoor locations. GFCIs protect against electrical shock by detecting ground faults and quickly interrupting the flow of electricity. The NEC provides guidelines for selecting the appropriate type and size of wiring for electrical circuits. The size of the wiring must be adequate to carry the intended load without overheating. The NEC also specifies requirements for the installation of wiring, including the use of conduit, cable trays, and other wiring methods. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. The NEC requires that all electrical equipment be properly grounded to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source. This helps to quickly trip overcurrent protection devices and prevent electrical shock. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from excessive current. They interrupt the flow of electricity when a fault or overload occurs, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. The NEC specifies the types of overcurrent protection devices that can be used and the methods for installing them. Electrical codes also address specific requirements for different types of electrical equipment, such as lighting fixtures, appliances, and motors. These requirements take into account the unique hazards associated with each type of equipment. For example, lighting fixtures must be installed in a way that prevents overheating and reduces the risk of fire. Appliances must be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. The NEC specifies requirements for the installation of electrical equipment in hazardous locations, such as areas where flammable gases or vapors are present. These requirements are designed to prevent explosions and fires. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical topics. It is essential for electricians, contractors, and other professionals to be familiar with the NEC to ensure that electrical work is done safely and correctly. It is also important for homeowners to understand basic electrical safety principles and to be aware of the potential hazards associated with electricity. This includes inspecting electrical cords and plugs for damage, avoiding overloading electrical circuits, and keeping electrical equipment away from water. The NEC is not a static document. It is updated every 3 years to incorporate new technologies and address emerging safety concerns. It is important to stay up to date with the latest version of the NEC to ensure that electrical work is done in accordance with the most current standards. The NEC is just one component of a comprehensive electrical safety program. Other components include education, training, and enforcement. Education and training are essential for ensuring that electricians and other professionals have the knowledge and skills necessary to perform electrical work safely. Enforcement is necessary to ensure that electrical codes are followed and that unsafe electrical installations are corrected. By working together, we can create a safe electrical environment for everyone. When relocating receptacles, consider the placement of small appliances that will be used on the countertop. Ensure that the receptacles are located in convenient locations for these appliances. The use of multi-outlet strips can provide additional receptacles in areas where they are needed. However, it is important to use multi-outlet strips that are rated for the intended load and that have surge protection. The installation of under-cabinet lighting can enhance the functionality and aesthetics of a kitchen. Under-cabinet lighting can provide task lighting for food preparation and can also create a warm and inviting ambience. The NEC allows for the installation of receptacles inside cabinets, provided that they are readily accessible. This can be a convenient option for appliances that are stored inside cabinets, such as blenders and food processors. When installing receptacles inside cabinets, it is important to ensure that the wiring is properly protected and that the receptacle is located in a safe and accessible location. The NEC requires that all electrical work be performed by qualified individuals. It is important to hire a licensed electrician to perform any electrical work in your home. A licensed electrician has the training and experience necessary to perform electrical work safely and in accordance with the NEC. Before starting any electrical work, it is important to obtain the necessary permits from your local building department. Permits are required for most electrical work to ensure that the work is done in accordance with the NEC and local codes. Electrical inspections are performed by building inspectors to verify that electrical work has been done in accordance with the NEC and local codes. It is important to schedule an electrical inspection after any electrical work has been completed. Electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the NEC and taking basic safety precautions, we can prevent electrical accidents and create a safe electrical environment for ourselves and our families. Never work on electrical equipment while it is energized. Always turn off the power at the circuit breaker before working on any electrical equipment. Use insulated tools when working on electrical equipment. This will help to protect you from electrical shock. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves, when working on electrical equipment. Inspect electrical cords and plugs for damage regularly. Replace any damaged cords or plugs immediately. Avoid overloading electrical circuits. Overloading can cause the wires to overheat and create a fire hazard. Keep electrical equipment away from water. Water can conduct electricity and create a shock hazard. If you experience an electrical shock, seek medical attention immediately. Electrical shock can cause serious injuries, including burns, cardiac arrest, and death. The information provided is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician before performing any electrical work. They can assess your specific situation and provide recommendations based on your local codes and requirements. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document. It is important to consult the NEC directly for specific requirements and guidance. The NEC is available for purchase from the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NEC is also available online through various subscription services. Electrical safety is an ongoing process. It is important to stay informed about electrical safety issues and to take steps to protect yourself and your family from electrical hazards. By working together, we can create a safe electrical environment for everyone. Ensure that the selected receptacle boxes are suitable for the intended use. For example, if the receptacles will be located in a damp location, use weatherproof boxes. Use appropriate wire connectors and ensure that all connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause overheating and create a fire hazard. When running wiring through walls or ceilings, protect the wiring with conduit or cable trays. This will help to prevent damage to the wiring and reduce the risk of electrical shock. Properly label all electrical circuits. This will help you to identify the correct circuit breaker when you need to turn off the power to a circuit. Keep electrical panels clear of obstructions. This will allow you to access the circuit breakers quickly and easily in case of an emergency. Test ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, monthly. GFCIs are designed to protect against electrical shock by detecting ground faults and quickly interrupting the flow of electricity. If a GFCI does not trip when tested, replace it immediately. Install smoke detectors on every level of your home. Smoke detectors can provide early warning of a fire and help you to escape safely. Test smoke detectors monthly. Replace smoke detector batteries at least once a year. Develop a fire escape plan and practice it with your family. This will help you to evacuate your home quickly and safely in case of a fire. Keep a fire extinguisher in your kitchen and know how to use it. A fire extinguisher can help to put out a small fire before it spreads. If you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety, consult with a qualified electrician. They can answer your questions and provide guidance on how to make your home safer. Remember that electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. By following basic safety precautions and consulting with qualified professionals, you can protect yourself and your family from electrical hazards. The NEC addresses requirements for arc fault circuit interrupters, or SIs, to provide enhanced protection against electrical fires. Our SIs are designed to detect arc faults, which are a common cause of electrical fires. Arc faults can occur when there is a break in the insulation of a wire or when there is a loose connection. SIs quickly interrupt the flow of electricity when an arc fault is detected, preventing a fire from starting. The NEC requires SIs in many areas of the home, including bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. The installation of SIs is an important safety measure that can help to protect your home and family from electrical fires. It is important to choose the right type of receptacle for the intended use. For example, if you are installing a receptacle for a high current appliance, such as a refrigerator or washing machine, use a heavy-duty receptacle. Use only Underwriters Laboratories or all listed electrical equipment. UL listing indicates that the equipment has been tested and meets safety standards. When installing electrical equipment outdoors, use weatherproof materials and methods. This will help to protect the equipment from the elements and prevent electrical shock. Before digging in your yard, call your local utility companies to locate underground utilities. This will help to prevent damage to underground utilities and avoid electrical shock. If you are planning a major electrical project, consider hiring an electrical engineer to design the system. An electrical engineer can ensure that the system is safe and efficient. Keep electrical cords out of high traffic areas. This will help to prevent tripping hazards and damage to the cords. Do not run electrical cords under rugs or carpets. This can cause the cords to overheat and create a fire hazard. Do not overload extension cords. Overloading can cause the cords to overheat and create a fire hazard. Unplug electrical appliances when they are not in use. This will save energy and reduce the risk of electrical shock. Keep electrical appliances away from water. Water can conduct electricity and create a shock hazard. If an electrical appliance falls into water, do not touch it. Turn off the power at the circuit breaker and then remove the appliance from the water. Have your electrical system inspected regularly by a qualified electrician. This will help to identify any potential problems and prevent electrical accidents. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following basic safety precautions and consulting with qualified professionals, you can protect yourself and your family from electrical hazards.